Look who's back with a brand new look. Season 6 of Miraculous Ladybug is out, and so we have gathered here today to discuss episode 2. Okay, seriously? What's wrong with this show? How the hell does this happen to the point of not even being a surprise? Isn't this like one of the most popular shows from France or something? How is Arcane not on the top of this list? So, you may have noticed the show has a new art style. I'm sure I'll get used to it eventually. It's a lot more technically impressive than what we had before, but it also feels uncanny, and at a few points the words video game cutscene flashed in my mind. With the art style came character design changes. Maybe I'll make another video on my thoughts on that when we actually get to see more of the characters in the show. But I do approve of how the superhero costumes don't feel so low effort anymore. Look at Felix trying to aura farm. Man thinks he's Sasuke. Actually, he does this quite a bit. Look at the camera, man. We haven't forgotten you drawing your heart in the window for your girlfriend. On to the actual episode, which is about Marinette having a breakdown while trying to go on a date with Adrian. I saw the fandom in the build-up to the release of this season, and it's kind of funny to look back on the conversations people are having about finally getting to see Adrian and Marinette dating like a normal couple. I mean, I don't know why we expected anything different.
Marinette, can I be frank?
Nope.
Alia's great. Too bad I wish she was less important. But I'm getting ahead of myself. A majority of this episode revolves around Marinette having no idea how to act around Adrian now that they're dating. What I think in my head is, her many issues are boiling over to make things hard for her. What I feel, burning in my soul, is great incredulity that this is somehow still something we're dealing with. I defy anyone to tell me that Marinette would honestly skip out on a date with Adrian to go dump garbage because she doesn't know how to act around him. This is not their first date. Marinette says things are brand new for them as a couple, and it makes me wonder, did I hallucinate season 5? If this wasn't season 6, it'd be cute to see her have no idea how to act around him. But it is season 6, so watching her just dip out to go deal with mundane issues that already have other heroes dealing with them was just painful. You see, this is how we know she didn't really love Luca, because clearly, insanity is her love language. Speaking of other heroes, we get to see some of them. It's so amusing to see Marinette and Adrian be like, we need to help our superhero friends hide their identities. Fortunately, we have a lot of experience doing a terrible job and getting away with it. But don't worry, Nino and Alia have us covered because they're actually investigating the plot with the new butterfly holder. Am I crazy or are Nino's ears huge? And this whole date plotline kind of upsets me because it's glossing over the big thing that Marinette would be struggling with at the moment. Because let's face it, girl's a control freak who likes having everything meticulously planned out. So after releasing all her Pokemon into the wild, it makes sense she'd feel the need to anally watch them and have to learn to just let other people handle other things. But that's just what chat thinks her problem is. Her real problem is avoiding Adrian because trying to copy everyone around her to figure out how to act isn't working out for her. Do it, coward.
I don't really know how you're supposed to behave when you're a loving couple.
Well, it's too bad she doesn't have loving parents to emulate. We kind of gloss over any real negativity she may feel about giving the Miraculous away. I think it was a bad decision in universe, but I will withhold my judgment of the story until we see how it handles having all those heroes running around. Full disclosure, my expectations are low. They've set up a call system and a rule that no one should help with an akumatized villain unless they are told to. She made them all superheroes, then told them not to do anything unless she calls them, so really, what's changed? I suppose now Ladybug doesn't have to look for them, but that's literally never been an issue. She's always been able to find exactly who she wants. Did she not explicitly give her friends Miraculous so they could help with the new butterfly holder? Why was Polymouse flying across the city to help some kids get their ball out from under a car and then nowhere to be found when the Paris was getting destroyed? Alia's justification about them knowing how akumatizations work and resisting is bullshit. She was akumatized like 4 times before she could resist it. And frankly, besides her, Chloe and Felix, has anyone else pulled that off yet? Alex's brother kind of did, but it was more like he realized his anger was just completely unjustified. Why don't they bring up the magic de-evilization shields? That's the real answer for why she should be comfortable giving Miraculous out to people. Also, the extra holders really do have me questioning why the secret identities between Ladybug and Chad are still a thing. Oh god, does Alia know who the extra heroes are? On a more positive note, we get to see what Lila's up to, and I gotta say, compliments to the chef. Making sure the heroes know absolutely nothing about her and her goals is a good trait, and the whole akumatization realm she has to speak to her victims is great, made extra creepy by the fact she was manipulating a child. Did this little girl really choose Illustrator as her name? The actual takedown of the villain was pretty standard. You can feel how much easier things are with Carapace and Rena on full-time support. In the London special, I gave props to the show for making Lila seem like such a threat, but she's gonna have to step up her game. She seems far crazier now than she was last season too. But now let's go back to talking about Alia and Marinette. Towards the end of the episode, we see them talking about what they now know about Chrysalis. I've heard that's what Lila's villain name is gonna be, by the way. And I don't care how optimistic Marinette acts, learning that the villain is making sure you don't learn anything about them is nothing.
Next trip. His goal was to seize Cat Noir's and my Miraculous so he'd be granted one wish. Now we have a supervillain we know zilch about who akumatizes whomever, whenever, and who knows why. This is a disaster!
Wait, in the London special, the first thing the villain did was steal the Black Cat Miraculous and the Ladybug Miraculous to make a wish. What do you mean you don't know what they want? But Marinette does begin foreshadowing her own demise when she gives Alia a Kwagatama so that no matter what, she'll be able to talk to her, and deputizes her as the new guardian and leader of the team in case anything happens to her. Guys, it's 2025, and I'm honestly tired of this discourse, but I can't not bring it up. Remember when Chat was Ladybug's partner? Those were some funny days, huh? Look, this is nothing new. Like, the idea Ladybugs is discussing the new villain and making plans with Alia instead of Chat Noir has been here since season 4. And at this point, I think the entire point of his plotline since then has just been to accept his demotion and stop complaining. And it seems to have worked. Now Alia is just basically the second in command of the team, and what is there to say? It's not like this has no development. The show has actually earned this shift for Alia. We've been building up to this since Gang of Secrets. We've been shown that Marinette is far more comfortable sharing information with Alia than Chat. Ephemeral is still an appalling episode, by the way. I genuinely can't think of a single thing that has more thoroughly damaged my view of their partnership than that episode. It makes sense, it just sucks, because at this point, what am I supposed to think of Chat in context of the other heroes besides yet another Pokemon? Here's the thing, Chat feels disconnected from the team because of this. There is no way in hell he adheres to the don't come unless Ladybug calls you rule, but seeing how he apparently is not expected to have any command over the team, am I supposed to think he's like not a part of it? Because he really just feels like Ladybug's +1. So we have Marinette, Alia, and even Nino dealing with the Miraculous stuff, and he's just wondering why his girlfriend keeps ditching him. I'm reminded of a post I saw once about how if Chat tries to give any commands to the other heroes, they just laugh him off and go about their day because it feels more and more plausible. I mean, why would they listen to him? At this point, I don't think he's even in the top 5 most competent people on their team. Like I said, the show has earned this development. And the fact Adrian's side of the episode was his girlfriend ditching him just makes me feel bad for the guy. I mean, his parents are dead, he had to deal with half a season of the writers dragging out his relationship, and now his girlfriend is avoiding him for some reason. And he doesn't even know about all the big things. Any more of this and I think I might jump on the villain Chat bandwagon. But, like, should I even expect this show to do that in any meaningful way? Ladybug and Chat's dynamic has barely changed, and the show does not want to write Adrian being angry at Marinette for any legitimate reason. In this episode, he did the same thing he always does. Marinette or Ladybug fucks up and he's not allowed to be upset with her even though he's the one who kept getting ditched, and he even starts blaming himself, and then his job is to reassure her when she starts reflecting on what she did wrong. I have seen this happen multiple times. I think the only unique thing is that this is the first time it's happened out of costume. This boy is a saint, and as much as I'd like to see him explode, I find it hard to believe it'll really happen. And yet, I cannot imagine writing this story and not letting that happen eventually. They had a villain Adrian, and look how Felix turned out. Forget Snow Bunny mind control, how about... Okay, is there a term for Asian girls who date white guys? Give me a second. Okay, after some research, I'm gonna call what Adrian and Felix have Oxford re-education. Where was I before I assaulted all of you with my attempt at a joke? Oh, right, Adrian. Like I said, I would love to not talk about it, but I feel compelled to. Yes, I know I sound like one of those I didn't want to make this video YouTubers. Like, I can't even generate anger on Adrian's behalf, partially because I'm not really that big a fan of him, partially because I think I exhausted most of my emotion regarding him in the season 5 finale video, and partially because, well, I like Alia. I am happy for the development of Alia and Marinette's relationship, but it's not why I'm watching this show. Who knows, maybe episode 1 has everything I'm looking for. And with a distinct feeling that half of the main duo is regressing and the other half is being shafted, I only have one conclusion I can reach. Alia should be the main character. I'm joking, I'm not joking. I mean, really, she's basically the fanfiction interpretation of what Marinette would be like post-identity reveal. Being cute with her boyfriend while trying to investigate who the bad guy is before being distracted by a supervillain and having to go out and save the day. It's enough for me to forget that I kinda think Nino sucks after season 5. And on that cheerful note, with the hope that this video ages like milk and this season is actually amazing, tell me your thoughts down below. Shout out to my patrons, A, Skyman, and Theo Gales. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and watch my past Miraculous videos to get a better sense of my thoughts on the show. Thank you, and good day.